like that. Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge. Man, get your cap built like that. Cause niggas get killed like that. They really built like that. Niggas ain't built like that. You was never on the block, you ain't never got it off. You ain't never fought another crew holding down the park. You was slaying with the sharks, you ain't wrestling with the gates. You was never fucking popping, you ain't got the fucking haters. Bitch, niggas like you, make me watch out for the traitors. When you bring real niggas, mind your behavior. I will be a nigga ass, then I'm laughing like I'm jaded. Get your fucking mind blown like a cartridge on a Sega. Niggas wanna taste you. They don't want the war though, talking all that shit, but you got a glass jaw, ho. They never deliver, they got that DiGiorno though. This that walking bag flow, I eat a rapper torso. You ain't the same man once you walk the microphone. You ain't never broke a bone, you ain't never had a scar. You a certified pussy, so don't make me pull your car. I'm a certified prophet, respected like the word of God. But you ain't got the heart, nigga, you ain't got the heart. You ain't got the finish any beef that you start. You ain't never been a soldier, little nigga, play the part. Claiming that you spark, when you ain't got the heart. But you niggas ain't built like that. Walk around talking like a thug, when you walk bust a slug, man. Niggas get killed like that. Acting like a bank for the set, when you ain't blood cuz, man. Blood get slipped like that. Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man. Get your cap built like that. Cause niggas get killed like that. When you ain't built like that. Walk around talking like a dog when you won't bust a slug, man. Niggas get killed like that. Acting like a bank for the set when you ain't blood cuz, man. Blood gets spilled like that. Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man. Get your cap built like that. Cause niggas get killed like that. All my niggas ride for me. All my niggas ride with me. I got niggas that'll ride for me. All my niggas ride with me. Niggas out.
All those sad. God, you be like, I'm missing that for life. Missing that for life. I'm missing life, niggas and clear on. No matter what, they go a class for you, my nigga. That's what you want to love. The world turned its back over. I'm a criminal. We got some, he got some, but I got different ones. They tell what out, I tell you what. Don't pray for nothing, let's see this place. We can't be years before we remain in the church out. Trust in the Lord, complete. Forgive me for the times that I keep on and Thanksgiving. Have no respect to your priority. Because you really said it's your people, never see this little. Trying to clean up with a bathroom. They said every minute, imagine I'm grinding for my time share. That's what they grandparents been hunching like grandparents. But ain't no kids out the days that you hunch. Or if you take that over to Dundee, try to deal death to a priest, you won't make it out in one piece. So you can stay. Make sure you got the heart. Say your name 3 times and it's death to a small good. So how you feel about the truth about the shout? You say that like you think that nigga. I should walk out. Even your own people on the show. And my Lord said they hate you, so I can't tell you back. You can almost say that ain't no more kiss. Ain't no more question. Make sure my election till I'm tucked away like George gets murdered for capital nine. Swear that capital the world is a nation. We like fuck them, rain. I'll pity those watching life as it go by. We give him mercy in his life, I don't know why. It's come smoke, never tried over it. They say all my brother being dead, so I know it's a phone salute. I can salute, but they like, how you think focus that's going for motivated to the truth. I think brotherhoods and weapons still got weapons on the street. Y'all never do my niggas like Bishop did right here. Never mind that I believe they on the MC. So they say she leaving, said she wanna let that love go. So I let that love go. But if I bring you to my bed, that's a blood hole. So how you feel about this truth, about the show? They say that like you think La-Sha-Wan, even your own people gonna get help. And the Lord said, I hate you for my name, so you better keep it out. Stay back.
Shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah. Shalom, Yahweh Shemal, Shalom, Yahweh Shemal, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, 1969. And today, as the Commanding General Yohana, we go throughout the earth, preaching, teaching the truth of the Bible, and that truth is so-called Black, so-called Hispanic, so-called Native American Indian are, in fact, lost children of Israel. This is the La-Sha-Wan Kodash, the Holy Tongue. This is where you come and you learn the basics of your original language. Hebrew, your language. English is not your language. Spanish is not your language. Portuguese is not your language. Your language is Hebrew. The La-Sha-Wan Kodash. What we have up on the board right now says Shema, Yasharallah, Yahweh, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh Achad. Hear, O Israel, the Most High, our power is one. The Most High, the Most High is one. You might want to write that down. Hear, O Israel, the Most High, our power is one. Here in 1 West, we understand there is one Spirit, one baptism, one Lord. We got one King, there's only one power. That's all 1 West. We got one language, the La-Sha-Wan Kodash, or the Holy Tongue. The La-Sha-Wan Kodash, the Holy Tongue. This is a prayer. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one. It is one. Achad, that's one. See that? That's one. I want to say welcome to this class today. And what we're going to do today, we're going to do like we always do. We're going to start off with the basics. We're going to start off with the basics. And the basics is real simple. We're going to go over character. Then we're going to throw a twist up in here. We're going to throw a twist up in here. If you can hear me, let me get a 1 in the chat room. If you can hear me okay, let me get a 1 in the chat room. Welcome to everybody that's in the chat room, that's in the class right now. See the student elders here. Reach out, make sure you put some likes on there if they got a place for likes. And share it. Share it. We're welcome to folks coming in from the Cleveland camp. We're sending out on the Cleveland channel today as well as the Detroit channel. So here we go. We started. By the way, I'm Officer 1000 Rashad. I'm the Detroit camp. Under Captain of 10,000 LaFon here in the Midwest. Before we get started, let's talk about some things that's coming up in the Midwest. If you are in the Detroit area, you're in Michigan, like many of us in the school, if you happen to have a felony, I don't care what you man or woman, you happen to have a felony or a bunch of misdemeanors on your records, look at here, June 27th, that's a Sunday, starting around noon. June 27th, this month, noon, we're having an expungement day. You're going to have paralegals down here, lawyers down here, sit down, and they're going to begin the process for you. Help you begin the process of getting those convictions off your record. Why is that important? Because you know, ever since slavery and the Jim Crow laws kicked in, the first thing they did was make sure you had a record, so that would be a criminal record, so that can disqualify you for a number of things. We don't vote, but that's one of the things that disqualify you for a certain job. When they run a background check, you got certain things on your record that come back on that background check, you know you won't get the job. See that? Now, the expungement, while the police and the courts, they're still able to see what you may have had in your past, it will not show up in the public record. That will not show up in the public record. So you want to get down here June 27th, 12 o'clock. Where? At the school. The school is located at 12355 Gratiot. That's 12355 Gratiot, Suite B, over here on the east side. You just hit Gratiot, head towards 8 Mile, and when you get to, what's that street up there? Filbert on one side, Finley on one side, and then it's like 4 streets here. 3 or 4 streets that merge right here. 12355 Gratiot, right next door to a Boost Mobile across the street, counter corner to a Wendy's. So you want to get down here Sunday, June 27th, starting at 12 o'clock. Come on down, and let's start trying to get some of that stuff off of your criminal records. Another thing that's going on, June 19th, we're going to be here for the Detroit campus here to Flint to participate. Feel like this to wake up our people doing their Juneteenth celebration up there. That zone is under the watchful eye of Officer of 1,000 Rock. So make sure if you can make it to Flint, make it to Flint. You know us when you see us. We're gonna be in our full regalia. So if you can make it to Flint, be there. You won't be disappointed. Also coming up, Feast of First Fruits. I believe that's June 21st. Get down to the school and celebrate with us the Feast of First Fruits on June 21st. Last but not least, of course, you know what it is. It's that time we ain't been too long getting back from the Passover. So the first big thing out of the gate is, in fact, the Midwest Fire Weekend in Chicago. We're going to be there. You should be there too. The Midwest Fire Weekend. We got 3 days. We're going to have a black and brown class put on. We're going to have some teaching going on by General Hyman for sure. Of course, you know the killers, Captain Cesaria, gonna be in the house going live from Chicago with Cross the Line Radio, and of course, you know we're gonna go to camp. And we're gonna blaze. In Chicago. We're gonna blaze in Chicago. And that's what we got coming up in the next month or two. And so now we can get started. We started with the characters or the alphabet of the La-Sha-Wan Kodash. I'm gonna write it, I'm gonna say it. You write it if this is your first time in the class, you simply write it. And you can write the pronunciation. I'm not gonna do a lot of pronunciations, but I will write the character and I will say it, and you should be able to figure out from there. By God. I know if you're new, you're saying, why is he over here? We write from over here. No, we don't. In Israel, we read and write right to left, not left to right. We read and write right to left. I find it makes it a lot easier, but for me anyway, to write with either hand. That's the first character. Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ha, Ta, ya, ka. Don't confuse the ka with the ka. You hear the difference in that? Ka and ka. See that? Then we got the la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, sa, kwa, ra, sha, and tha. Give you a few seconds to write that down. Go over it again. Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, ha, za, kwa, ra, sha, and tha. The ones you can't get mixed up, to be careful, is the ka and the cha, the ka and the cha, or the tha and the ta. The tha and the ta. Those you can't get mixed up. Those you can't get mixed up, so be very careful as we start going through this. We put words up here. Be careful not to get your ta mixed up with your tha and your cha mixed up with your ka. All right? Give you a few seconds to write that down. All right. Before we take this off, we're going to explain something here. If you notice, most of the vowel sounds, you know, in English you got A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. Those are considered vowels. In English, the A has an A sound, or an ah sound, or an A sound. It's not that difficult in the Holy Tongue. It's not that difficult. We have one, in fact, we have two vowel sounds. We have the ah, and we have the I. We have the ah and the I. There's no I, u, o, none of that in Hebrew. Okay? None of that. It's always ah. Sometimes you're going to get a word like in Shema. The I is used in there. You see that? Shema. It means to hear. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one. You hear that? The Lord our God is one. But every other sound, vowel sound, in that declaration, Shema Yasharala, Yahweh, Allah, Yana, Salaki, Allah, Allah, Yanawa, Yahweh, Aha. If you listen, you have all those ah vowels in there. All those are. My name is Ma-Sha. Officer here for me today. His name is Za-Ra. Za-Ra. La-Ba. You hear that? Ah, ah, ah. Every now and then, we have the I. Every now and then, we'll have the I sound, as in Shema. You got that? All righty then. We're going to move on. Here's another thing you want to learn about in the beginning of learning Hebrew. All right? Each one of our characters has a sound. The ah, the da, the ha, the wa, the ya, the sha, the ra, the qua. We have that sound. The sa, the na. Now, here's this little thing right here called a connector. What your connector does is change the sound of the second character it's connected to a softer sound. In other words, this is la, sha, wa, na. If the character is not connected by the connector, if these characters are not connected, La-Sha-Wan, La-Sha-Wan, La-Sha-Wan. That's how you pronounce it. But as soon as I connect it with the character, with the connector, then you get the soft sound of the na. The hard sound is just what it says, na. That's the hard sound. See that? But the soft sound is the same as the word can. It's pronounced can, right? Or in Hebrew, we would say kan, because of the ah, right? You get that on the end, kan, right? So when you get the connector, this is not wa na, it's wan. See that? The same soft in sound. Just like over here, this is the da, this is the sha. By itself, without the connector, it's qua, da, sha. As soon as you put on the connector together, just get the soft SH sound as in cash. You see that? As in cash. So it's la, it's qua, da, sh. You get that sh sound when you connect it. You get that sound here when you connect it. So that's what you got. La-Sha-Wan, qua, da, sh. See that? Got that? All right. Now, let's erase this. I hope you got the characters written down. And I'm not really trying to go fast, but if I get too fast, just say something in the chat room, and I got you. We'll slow it down. Now, let's pick up something we went over last week. I think we all should be able to do this. We should all be able to read and write 12 tribes of Israel in the Hebrew. You should be able to read it, speak the Hebrew name, and write it down. The first one we want to go to is Yahweh. So you write that. Yahweh. See that? Yahweh. On this end, if it was in English, this is how you know you use that high in it. If you use English letters to spell it out, it would be D-A-H. If it was only D-A, then you would not have this right here. But when you got the H, we know that it's a ha, and we just connect it to the dot. Yahweh da. Okay? Anybody know what tribe that is? Yahweh da. My full name is La-Sha-Wan Yahweh Ban Yasharah. So what tribe am I from? Anybody want to answer that in the chat room? All right, yeah, let's get some lights up. Appreciate that. Anybody want to answer that in the chat room? Yahweh, that's one of the tribes. See that? And it means, you know, that's another good thing about Hebrew names. My wife, she Chicago is looking forward to getting her name. You see, her Hebrew name. I know that's one thing that's not easy. That's one thing that's not easy is naming somebody, you know. Naming somebody. Comes up with their name. Every name in Israel means something. Every name in Israel has a meaning. Yahweh means Yahweh thanks. Yahweh thanks. This is the fourth, I believe the fourth son, if I'm not mistaken, the fourth son of Jacob. The fourth son of Israel. See that? Anybody want to give it a shot? Anybody want to give it a shot? Young man Wood in the house. Salam, how about you, mashallah? Glad to see you in class. Up on your screen, if you're looking at one of the tribes of Israel. You've been here in this class a minute. You can surely read that. Yahweh. In the English, what tribe is that? That's what I want. What tribe is that in the English? Can you give it to me? Anybody want to venture? As to what tribe that is? Sister out of Chicago, definitely in the house. You're still in the house. Sis, what tribe is that? Luke L, what tribe is that? Young man Wood, what tribe is that? Yahweh, tribe of Yahweh. And for time's sake, I'm going to give it to you. That's the tribe of Judah. These are the Jews. These are the Jews. Not those folks over in our land who call themselves Jewish. They're somewhat like us. You know what I mean when I say somewhat like us? You know, there's yellow and there's yellowish. There's black, and you got a show called Blackish. And they named that show right, because they're not quite black. They got a little bit of something to let you know. I think Diana Ross's daughter stars in that, and then that Anthony got. Immediately. This is the tribe of Judah, Yahweh, all right? Now what about this one? I need y'all to chime in. If you could, give me the Hebrew pronunciation, and then tell me what's the English name for this tribe. Now, I know y'all got this. I know y'all got this. We went over this last week. Just went over this last week, so that's why I'm moving pretty fast on it. Remember what we said about those connectors. You got a like button on your spot, hit that like button. We all doing that, get those that algorithm up. What character is this? We start off with what character? This is a Bob, right? This is a Na. right? This is a Yah, this is a Ma, this is a Yah, and this is a Na. So, is this pronounced Vano, Wama, Yana? Is that how it's pronounced? Or does the pronunciation change because of these little jokers right here? Because of these little jokers right here. See that? So, what's the pronunciation of this particular tribe in the Hebrew? Then tell me what it is in the English. How would we recognize this tribe in the English? What would we call it? I'm going to need your participation. Appreciate the likes. Make sure you share it. Don't be shy on sharing this. We are not ashamed. Not in the ISUPK. We are not ashamed. We appreciate it. We're pleased that the Most High gave us the language. Now, this language here is so important that this is the language that every person in the world spoke prior to the Tower of Babel. Prior to the Tower of Babel. We all, the whole earth spoke one language. How do we know this is true? Well, the Tower of Babel was built, what? So that they would not have to suffer through the flood anymore. You see that? Every nationality on the face of the earth, if you go back far enough in their history, they have a flood story. You know why? Because only 8 individuals, Lot, his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives, survived the great flood. 8 people. That was it. That was it. If you read up on one of Noah's sons, Ham, you'll find him in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. It says something like this: Ham, born approximately 86 years before the flood, the youngest son of Noah, and one of 8 people to survive the flood. Ham is the progenitor or the father of the dark races. Then it goes on to say, not the Negro. Why is that important? Even in the La-Sha-Wan class. Because if you in this country, you have been taught since you were a baby. Since the first day you breathe your first breath, they've been drilling into you that you are what? An African American. Now, let me grab that dictionary. This time I'm going to pause it all the way through instead of paraphrasing. All right? Ham. Look what it says. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor. Remember I said that? That means father. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negro. Then it said, but the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, the Libyans, and watch this, the Canaanites. A lot of people think Canaanites are white. No, Canaanites are disgusting Africans. This is the father of the Africans. See that? Remember the story of David and Goliath? Goliath was an African. He wasn't some big giant Paul Bunyan looking white boy, okay? He wasn't that. He was a big ass African fighting against this Negro. You see that? Negroes are not African. According to, let me tell you, Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, scholarly book used in Bible colleges. You see that? used in the seminaries where they teach Christianity. If they use it in the seminary where they teach Christianity, that means even before we showed up on the slave ships, watch this, those white Christians already knew we were not Africans. The Africans surely know we're not Africans. Obama said he had the audacity to hope. I wish he had the audacity to tell the truth. Because he knows. He knows. He'd have been back to Ghana, to his homeland, or wherever he come from. They love him. Why? Because he became the president of the United States. He's the first black president simply in color. He's not the first Negro president. See that? Because he's not a Negro, he's an African. Ban Yam Yam. Ban Yam Yam. That is the tribe of Benjamin. That is the tribe of Benjamin. And what it means is son of the right. Son of the right. You know, Jacob had two wives. Leah was his first wife. He didn't like her. And Rachel was the second wife. She was Leah's little sister. He thought Rachel was just drop dead gorgeous. And that's the one he wanted to marry. He didn't want to marry Leah, but he got tricked into it. But the Most High, let me show you why. We running around here in America trying to justify when we get upset about our relationships, trying to justify some stuff we decide in our mind we want to do. One of our forefathers, Israel, Jacob, was tricked into marrying his first wife. See what I'm saying? He went in, he laid with it, thought he was having sex with Rachel. You wake up in the morning, open up the tent, let some light in, and by Joe is Leah. The Most High didn't even allow him to give her back. He didn't give her back. That was his wife forever. He felt some kind of way about that. And so after he did marry Rachel, the one he did love, he did his husbandly duty, but he didn't show Leah the same affection that he showed Rachel. You know, Leah had 4 sons before Rachel had any. I bet you Rachel was getting the lion's share of the rock. You see that? But because of the way he treated Leah, the Most High closed up Rachel's womb and opened up Leah's womb. It was a while. It was a while before Leah actually had a child of her own. This is Ban Yam Yam, and that is the tribe of Benjamin, which means son of the right. Okay? The next one. Remember this is a Y right here, right? So it's not La-Wa because of the connector, it's just La, Ya. This is the Ya. So if you spell it in English, it would be La-Ya. La-Ya. Okay? What tribe is that? This tribe means joined to me. It means joined to me. And this particular tribe is the tribe of Levi. This is the tribe of the ancient priesthood that was after Aaron. Yahweh is a priest after Melchizedek. And when we say after, meaning in the same sense as Melchizedek. These priests, the Levites, they were the sons of Aaron. They come from Aaron. These are the Levites. You got me? But Yahweh is of the tribe of what? Yahweh of Judah. Just like Dawudah. Just like Dawudah, from the tribe of Judah. And so the scepter and the priesthood belongs to Yahweh. Not Yahweh, but to Yahweh. That's where the rulership changed. You see, it came into the house of Judah. I'll show you something. Who should have ruled after Jacob passed away? It should have been Reuben, right? Why? Because Reuben was the eldest son. I was the eldest son. In fact, Judah is actually fourth in the line of succession. But because all of his three brothers in front of him had done something, the Most High put the rulership in the house of Judah, or in the house of Yahweh. That's why David became king. See that? That's why David became king. That's why Solomon became king. And then Yahweh, being in one of his times on earth, being Solomon himself. You see that? Being Solomon himself, was able to keep. You see that when he came back as Yahweh, he solidified his place on the throne by being what? Completely 100% obedient to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Everything he did, none of it was done of himself. Okay? So, here we go again. Look at this. La-Yah. That's the tribe of Levi, meaning join to me. This is going to be a little more difficult. And here's the thing, we don't have them in the order that these sons were born. I'm not putting them in that order. All right. Somebody tell me what tribe is that? First, give it to me how to pronounce that in the Hebrew. I see you on it, young man, Wood. If you happen to have, what I'm going to do, if you happen to have your cell phone with you and you want to answer on the screen, I'm putting the link in the chat room now. That link went out to everybody that's out there. If you want to click that link, follow the instructions, click that link. If you want to answer, participate on camera, okay? If you want to participate on camera, click that link. Who do I have up there now? This is the Hebrew flag. That's why everything on the board is going in Hebrew, in the La-Sha-Wan Kodash. What I got here? Give me the Hebrew pronunciation. Read that back to me in Hebrew. Really easy. Real easy. Then tell me, if you can, tell me what tribe is this. While you're trying to figure it out, what it means is affliction heard. His mother cried out unto the Lord, and she was feeling some kind of way. And when the Lord gave her this son, she said, my affliction has been heard. And that's why he has his name. Every name in Israel has a meaning. It doesn't just a name that sounds good. You know, here in America, we say, well, Tanisha Nichelle, that sounds so good. But what did that mean? Who knows? You just made up because it sounds good. Not like that in Israel. Every name has a meaning. My name is La-Sha-Wan Yahawah. What that means? One preserved son of Yahawah, or son of Judah. See that? Which means, and that's my pedigree, La-Sha-Wan Yahawah, Wan Yasharah. You see that? And even Yasharah, original name was Jacob. You see that? It was Jacob. But he said, Jacob was told, thou hast wrestled with God and prevailed. Your name shall no longer be called Jacob. You know what Jacob meant? Jacob meant supplanter. He got his name, why? Because when his brother came out first, Esau came out first, all red and hairy all over. So Jacob had his hand on his foot. He had his brother, his twin brother, by his foot. And they said he's going to supplant him. He's usurping him. They call him a supplanter. And that's why he got the name Jacob. That's what that means. Supplanter. You see that? Supplanter. And now each of Jacob's sons, well, Jacob first, let me go to Jacob's name was changed because he wrestled with the angel all night, wouldn't let him go. The only way the angel even got him loose, he touched him in his hip and dislocated his hip. You know, Jacob walked with a limp the rest of his life. But he was told, you've wrestled with God and you have prevailed. Your name shall no longer be Jacob, but shall be Yasharah. All right, who just chimed in? Who just chimed in? How would you die? Shalom, Israel. I was watching my shot. True buddy, how would you die? Checking in from Georgia. Glad to see you in the classroom. What we're doing right now is we're going over the tribes in Hebrew. We're giving you the Hebrew spelling. What we want you to do is give me the Hebrew pronunciation, use the English language, English letters, and then tell me what tribe is that we recognize in the English language. I'll give you what the name means. For this tribe, the name means affliction heard. So, just take a look. And my writing is getting better in Hebrew, so you should be able to read that pretty much. Glad to have you in. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share. Because all of us need to be in these La-Sha-Wan for God's class. And look, it's going to be more classes later on the day. Mine was just one of the earliest because of the way the situation sits up for me here. For time's sake, I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. In the Hebrew, this is Sha My Wan. Shemai. You got that? Shemai Wan. In the English, this is Simeon. See that? This is Simeon in the English. All right? We're going to keep going. Remember, Simeon means affliction heard. Been in these Hebrew classes. That's really a dead giveaway of what tribe this is. Question is, can you pronounce it? This one means dwelling. This name means dwelling. Okay? All of those who just, you might want to see me. You're absolutely right. Again, there's a link in the chat room. If you click that link, you'll be able to respond in faster time because you'll be on camera. I'll put you right into the screen. You can pop on the screen. If you feel like it. If you don't have to. All right? Now, which tribe is this? What tribe is this? What's interesting, this used to be a dead giveaway. Look at here, look at here, look at here. We're close. No, we're not close. We're absolutely right. Look at that. Look at that brother. It's on. I know this brother about a trooper. He said, trooper. Yahweh, you die. Mighty man, mighty man. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Did you give me? Let me see. Yep. You got it 100% correct. Just pronounce La-Sha-Wan. La-Sha-Wan. See that? La-Sha-Wan. And that's, of course, Zebulun. That's the tribe of Zebulun. Zebulun. So La-Sha-Wan means dwelling. All right? Now, the next two, I'm going to put them up here together, okay? Because I want a little bit more information about these. All right. Let me draw a line so we don't get them mixed up. These are two tribes. Now, if you're in this class, you know I'm going to ask the question I'm going to ask. Big up to the brothers down there in Atlanta holding this down. With the young man and trooper on it. Let that brother teach you. Here's two tribes right here. Here's the question about these two tribes. So thank you for that interruption. What number of sons are these? You know that Jacob had 12 sons. What number of sons are these? Israel had 12 sons. That's why it's called 12 tribes of Israel. What sons are these? Son number 4, son number 3, son number 8. Which son are these? Aparium is right. Aparium. Let me check my thing, make sure I wrote it right. Aparium. Not Aparium. Okay? Aparium. Aparium. The first. Okay, let me see. See, Aqua, mine is in the house. Aparium and Manasseh. Those are correct now. My question, that's Ephraim and Manasseh. Just so y'all see, brother ain't playing. Why young? Manasseh. Then he said this is Ephraim and Manasseh. See that? Ephraim and Manasseh. Let's get that Manasseh spelled right, please. That might be the way they pronounce it, but yep, that is how they spell it here. So right, that'll work. Maybe I got in too early. We started to pick up. If you could hit them like, please. So like you said, I'm not sure. All right. Brother Yahweh Yadai, can you answer that question? Sister says she's not sure. You got this right, Ephraim and Manasseh. That's who's up there. Can you tell me where do they fall in the line of sons of Jacob? Or the line of sons of Israel. And if you was in the class last week, you all know this answer. I asked this exact same question. That's the exact same question. That's a good answer, sis. When you don't know, Sister Ruiz, when you don't know, it's always good to just simply say, I don't know. That's an excellent answer. We don't want any guessing up in here. We want the truth all the time. Listen to the question. The question is, where in line do these two men fall as the sons of Israel? You hear the question? Israel had 12 sons. Where do these two sons fall in that line? You got Reuben, you got Simeon, you got Judah, you got Levi. And here we got Ephraim, and we got Manasseh. So, I'm seeing these answers, and the reason I'm not clicking any is because one didn't answer the question. You're on target, Yahweh Yadai. You're on target, but that's not the question. I'm representing these two fellas as sons of Israel. I'm saying we're taught that the 12 tribes of Israel are the 12 sons of Jacob. Where do these two fall in there? And good try, Shemaiah, but sis, La-Sha-Wan. And let me give you the answer. I'm going to give this brother his credit because, look at here. So you'll know. Boom. He say, Joseph. He's on target. These are not the sons of Jacob. These are the sons of Joseph. See that? You remember Joseph? He was the 11th son of Jacob. Joseph was the 11th son of Jacob. There was only one under him. That was Benjamin. You see that? And Joseph was the one with the coat of many colors. His daddy loved him. You see that? Why? Because that was Rachel's boy. Rachel's oldest boy. See that? That was Rachel's oldest boy. She finally had a son. And what did his brothers do? They got tired of him running his mouth. Because what he did, he could see visions. The Most High blessed him to see visions. You see that? And to understand and interpret dreams. You see? He blessed him with that. And he even came and told one of his dreams to his father, and his father, being Jacob, said, "Oh, I'm going to bow down to you." He got on his brother's nerves so bad they wanted to kill him. But at the persuasion, I believe it was of Reuben, they decided not to kill him. Going to the big ass sister, took his coat, held him there until a caravan came through that was on their way to what? Egypt. They sold him into slavery. You see that? They sold him into slavery. But remember, Joseph was the one, after all of that. See, everybody thinks when something bad happens to them, they're supposed to be upset, mad, flagging with everybody, with the folks responsible. There's going to be some stuff that happens to you that you ain't going to like. But you got to know that if you're in the ISUPK, if you're in the truth, if you're in the home of the truth, nothing happens to you unless the Most High say so. Don't get me wrong, if you're in the truth, if you're a big ass hypocrite, I know it was the storm. The storm came through a few days ago. And I was outside in it. And I could see the storm coming straight up grass. It was coming straight up grass. I said, well, I'm going to walk across the street and get up under some shelter. And it scared the mess out of everybody that was around. And like they ain't never seen that like this. I'm just looking at the Most High does what he does. The storms let you know, the heat wave let you know, the droughts let you know, the infestation of they got something going on in California now. Ticks, Lyme disease carrying ticks are showing up on the beaches of California now. My whole life, I was taught that Lyme disease ticks that carry Lyme disease are mostly found where? In wooded areas where they have deer and stuff like that. That's why when we would go hunting, we would put on nylon so they couldn't get through our socks up on our pants and we get bit by it. We would actually put on something nylon. We used to call them thick and thin socks, right? You can almost see through them, you know. We would put them on top or either up under whatever socks we had on. So when we went out into the woods, we didn't have to worry about getting bit by ticks. But now these very ticks showing up because of the drought on the beaches of California. You see that? The Most High controls all that. Africa, what they worried about? Locusts now. The locusts are back. You see that? Down in the southern part of America, that southern cotton belt down there from Texas all the way back across the Florida, what they worried about? Hurricane. All that the Most High controls. Not many. You see? Not many. And so when Joseph was sold into slavery, they brought his coat back to his father and said they believe he was killed by some animal. Wild animal. They put blood on the coat and tore it up and all that, made it dirty. And so, of course, his father, their father, Jacob, mourned the loss of his son. But it turns out what? That years later, when the famine hit, they had to go to Egypt because what? They needed food, just like everybody else in the world. This made Egypt great, but what made Egypt even greater, even after they had all the money from every other nation on the earth, they had the Israelites there, and along came a Pharaoh that knew not Joseph. You see that? And they put the Israelites into captivity and forced labor. They made them slaves. They made us slaves. You see that? They made us slaves. But up until then, guess what? There was Joseph, who was the most famous Israelite in Egypt. And what did he do with that power? He saved his people. He saved his people. You see that? These are his sons. And it's because of what Joseph did that Jacob or Israel blessed these boys and gave them a part in the 12 tribes. Each one of these of Joseph's sons. Again, this is a Parayam, and this is Manasseh, Ephraim, and Manasseh. You got it? A Parayam means I am fruitful. You got that? A Parayam means I am fruitful. And then Manasseh, you know what that means? Made to forget. Now, that's important. Remember what I said Joseph's brothers did to him? He forgot all that. He forgot all that. Joseph just wanted his family back. We talk about years later. His father's elderly. His baby brother Benjamin is grown. You see. He named his son Manasseh because once he was able to save the people, guess what? He forgot all the wrong that was done to him. See that? Names in Hebrew, in Israel, mean something. They're not just play plates, if I may. Okay, I'll get back with you. 2 sons that were replaced. I got to pull that list up because they did replace 2 other sons. Sis, I'll get that to you. I'm gonna have to come back to that. I'll get that to you. But this is, Shemayim, I see where you got that from. The order that's on your list is not the order that these boys were born in. See, the oldest son was Reuben, but you see on the list, he's listed as number 9. Judah is listed as number 1, but he is the 4th born son. And both Levi and Simeon, I believe, they're higher than Judah as well, as far as being in the line of succession. But you know, Levi now and Simeon, they went over there when his sister got raped, right? And they convinced them Africans, they raped their sister, and now the job will be part of us. And this is heavy. This is heavy. I heard, you know, I watched one of Captain Cesariak's debate with some Christian preacher. He was talking about the law, and then Moses gave the law. Now watch how Levi and his brother got the sister got in trouble. Let me show you how they got in trouble. They said this is Moses' law. That's what the Christians want to say. But at this time, with Levi and Simeon and the sister got raped, guess what? There is no Moses. There is no Moses. You see that? Moses has not been born yet. This is hundreds of years before Moses. You see that? Moses ain't been born yet, but you know what these two fellas did right here? They told them damn Africans, okay, since your boy just took our sister, they just grabbed and just forced himself on her. And now that's his wife. Y'all gonna make y'all now part of our family. You need to be literally circumcised. See that? Supposed to be circumcised. They listened to it, and so all the men in the village got circumcised. Okay? You know what was going on the next day? They can't move. They can't fight back. These two, I gotta use the word, this is what the old folks said, these two not coherent. They run up in there and kill them all. They over their sisters. I'm not saying it was wrong, but then Watch this. They did so much harm, they did so much killing, that Father Israel said, you got blood on my head. See that? You just spilled so much blood. Now I got to deal with all these folks around us and all of that. You see? I got to deal with it. But guess what? The law of Moses, as they call it, had been put out. But these fellows understood that circumcision was something that happened in their family. See that? Circumcision was done in their family to every male child on the 8th day, before Moses was ever born. You see that? And they were able to use that to avenge their sister. They went over there and killed all of their animals. They gathered their life. They liked it. They liked it. But that is to just show that Christians don't know the Bible. They'll tell you this story, they won't even make the link that they was able to do that because that was a law among their people. See that? That was a law among their people. Moses ain't born yet. What you mean they did? It's the Mosaic law. No, it's Yahweh's law. It's Yahweh's law. You see? Sarah called her husband a bloody husband because what? He circumcised Isaac. See that? He's circumcised. According to who? According to the Most High, according to Yahweh. Let's move on. That's Ephraim. This one should be easy. Let's put one more behind it. Let me know if you can't see these as close to the bottom. All right. This one first. This fellow's name means truth. Truth. La-Sha-Wan, okay, I think I answered that, Aqua Louise. It's La-Sha-Wan, and Parayam. Okay, Parayam. What sons I have up now? You got the first one, the that's for sure. The first one is Gad, or God. It's actually pronounced God in Israel. In Hebrew, and it means truth. What's the second? Can you see the second down here? Oh, you might not can see it. Let me get that off there. Okay, there we go. Okay, yep. Ra-Aban. That's absolutely correct. Ra-Aban. Ra-Aban. Anybody know? Well, God or Gad, that's a given. What tribe is this? Ra-Aban. What tribe is Ra-Aban? He got an interesting story too. Sisters say that God is one and the other one is Reuben. Anybody disagree? Does anybody disagree with sisters, with Aqua Shemaya? Like I said, God is, God is a giving. Looks like nobody really disagrees. The brother that died says Reuben as well. And absolutely correct. Now this fellow got an interesting story. Remember names mean something. Reuben means seed, it's a sign. Seed, it's a sign. And you know, Reuben is the absolute firstborn of Israel. You know that, right? Shemaiah, you can hear me? I think you jumped ahead from me. Reuben. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what the sister's saying. Look. She done added something to y'all. Right? We might have to back up and go over this again. Sister Shemaiah said Reuben is a Seminole Indian. She's absolutely correct. She's absolutely correct. Even though we didn't even ask that yet. But let's start doing that for the next one. Who are these people today? If I ask you, where can I find the tribe of Yahweh? The main focus, where do the main body of Yahweh live today? Who are they today? You would tell me they are who? Yahweh is who? And Reuben is the Seminole Indian. Gad is what? The American, Native American Indian. Native American Indian. And Reuben is the Seminole Indian. We can ask that about every tribe we've talked about. If we go back to La-Sha-Wan and Parayam, who are they? Manasseh and Ephraim, who are they? So right now, I really just want to know. Who is Judah? Who is Yahweh? Today. If I'm looking for Yahweh, well, who would I be looking for? So I'm saying, if I was looking for La-Sha-Wan, who would I be looking for? If I was looking for Ephraim, who would I be looking for? See? And that's important. Why is that important? The reason that's important is because the 12 tribes no longer see themselves as a family. They actually see themselves as different nationalities. And some of the sons are split, see them, just one tribe see itself, because they spread out over such a large area, as different nationalities. You understand? This is La-Sha-Wan. No, yeah, La-Sha-Wan. This is La-Sha-Wan, right? He's the Seminole Indian. Reuben, he's the Seminole Indian. Up here, this is Gad. He's the Native American, the North American. Let me say that, the North American. So who is Yahweh? Anybody? Okay. I think you're just showing off now, you guys. But you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. All of those are correct. Look at that. Young man Wood, way to get it. He asked the question. But you got to be more specific. Because they told me Obama was black. Is Obama from the tribe of Yahweh, or is Obama a state in Africa? He's a state in Africa, right? So, they call him black. You see that? They call him black. Manute Bol, I think he came from Africa. They call him black. They accept him as black. be more specific. Who are Yahweh? Be a little bit more specific. You there, you right on it. Bring me home with it though. Bring me home with it. Bring me home with it. I'm not going to linger on this too much longer because I want to get all, make sure we got all 12 tribes. And while y'all getting that together, I'm going to put up the next 3 tribes. The last one here. Y'all see how I move the right back with my right hand. I hate I do that sometimes. Okay, the last 3. And with these, just what I need on each one of them. What did I say in Hebrew? What did I say? Give me the Hebrew name. Who are they? In English, give me the English name. And then tell me who are they in the earth today. I got that Hebrew name, how to pronounce the Hebrew name in English, and then who are these people in the earth today? Welcome to the class, Aquazaria. Welcome to the class. Ashar is Asher, those are Colombians. According to your diet. Anybody disagree? Anybody disagree? Can anybody make this answer more perfect? What we're going to do, we're going to stand down on that, we're going to back it up. I'll keep asking about Yahweh. The first answer I got was that Yahweh blacks. Right? I said I was close, I said bring me home. Young man Wood said African. And La, not African. So we're going to go back to that question. Yahweh, who are they today? I got your other answers. We're gonna get them. We're gonna get to them. Aquazaria, if you know, just type it in. The question is, who are Judah today? Who is Judah today? Again, everybody keeps saying the blacks. Blacks is not a nation. Black is a color. It's not a nationality. Who are Yahweh today? If I tell you, I'm telling you this is my name, La-Sha-Wan Yahweh. You got that? My name is La-Sha-Wan Yahweh. That's La-Sha, son of Yahweh. If that's my true pedigree, who is Yahweh today? That's the question. Who is Yahweh today? That's my true pedigree. Then you're correct. I would be considered a black. I would definitely be considered a black. I need to know who Yahweh is. You should always know this. If you live in America, you should know this. You die on the Sabbath service. Yeah. Oh, man, y'all definitely hit that. Shemaiah, I'm asking, who is Judah? Young man Wood said he was asking a question about Obama. Okay. No problem. You're correct there. You're absolutely correct. He is thinking half. He's not of the tribe of Judah. Who is Judah? Who is Judah today? That's the question. I'm a Judite. I'm a Jew. Shemaiah is a Judite. So I believe Sister Zaria is a Judite. I know a father, so I believe he's a Judite. He worked in that zone up in Jackson, Michigan. He worked hard and heavy too. Also 1,000 of white yacht. See that? Anybody tell me when I report at the Sabbath service, this is what I say. I say, when I stand up, I say, and they give my pedigree, when they tell me the report, I say, La-Sha-Wan Yahawah Yasharah, which is saying, La-Sha is son of Judah, the son of Israel. Okay? Who's Judah? Who's Judah? Shemaiah Matar Yahawah. See that? Bach, it would be Bach, Shemaiah Matar, Bach Yahawah, daughter of Yahawah, daughter of Judah. Who is Judah? I'm not going to put anything else up, anybody answers up, even though they all right now, until I get the answer about Judah. Everybody tell me, I see you telling me who Yashakar is. You see, you telling me who the Pataliyah is. I see that, but I'm asking Judah. I'm asking, who is Judah? If you're using the sheet, if you got the sheet that we use to teach from, it's right. It should be right on there. If you're in your school and you look at, no, it's not on there. But if you look at the banners that you have hanging around in your school, it should be on there. I can tell by some of your answers that that's what some folks are doing. You give me an answer like Argentina 2 Chile. Look at the banner that says Judah or Yahawah, and who does it say those people are today? And that's the answer I'm looking for. Why is that important? Man, don't you know Judah is the one that's going to bring the 12 tribes back together? Let's wake them up. You see that? That's going to wake them up. You need to know if you're in that number. You need to know if that's you. Who is Judah? We know that Manasseh is the Cuban. We know that Gad is the American Indian. We know that Reuben is the Seminole Indian. Who is Judah? That's my question. That's my question. Who is Judah? Who is Yahawah? You see that? We know that Simeon is the Dominican. We went over Dominicans. We went over that already. Who is Judah? Help me out. Help me out. Help me out. Y'all way too smart not to get this one. Y'all way too smart not to get this one. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Who is Yahawah thanks? Who is Judah? Please, brothers and sisters. Give it to me, young man Wood. minor, aqua, minor. You would you like? How much you like? So who would you like? Give me your hint. Their names appeared, who they are, appeared on slave bills when slaves were sold in the United States. Another hint. If you look at a slave bill, and pull up slave bill on your computer on your phone. If you look up slave bill, you will never see African for sale. Okay, we'll just check this. For those just checking in, hit that like button, hit that share button. But this is the question. We're going to work on this stuff right here. But here's the question. If I was looking for a Jewite today, who would I be looking for? I know if I was looking for Syrian, I would be looking for the Dominican. If I was looking for Reuben, I know I'd be looking for Seminole Indians. If I was looking for Gad, I would be looking for the North American Indians. But I'm looking for Judah. So who am I looking for? Telling y'all I'm stubborn. I ain't gonna move. I'm not gonna move so I get this very easy answer. Don't overthink it. Young man Wood, can you help me out? I'm gonna go back up here if I miss it. I didn't think you might get from me yet. Sister Zaria, can you help me out? Trooper Yadai, can you help me out? The first answer that came back when I said, who's your Howard is this. My response is, that's not exactly right. Well, that's not exactly right. We talk about these folks, that's right. We talk about these folks, that's right. This is not, he's right, but he's not exactly right. He's not perfectly right. We want to be perfectly right. So who? Now, are we having a hard time? Okay, Con says, Con. Who are we? What is the nationality that we have in today's time? That's what I'm asking. What are we considered today? If we are Judah, we are the ones that had our names on the slave bill. So come on, it's easy. Y'all overthinking this. Look on your phone. Put it on your phone right now. Slave bill. Slave bill. And look for the image of a slave bill. Click images, then look on that bill and tell me who they were selling. But it's the same people today that's Judah. It's an easy one. Sister said we are Judah. So my question is, who are we? I got you, young man Wood.
Shalom.
Shalom, how about you, myself? Stop.
Yep, the Negroes.
There you go. About time. There you go. The Negroes.
Salakia, I've been typing in the chat, but I don't know why it wasn't going through. I typed
Oh,
it
okay.
weeks ago.
That's what I was saying earlier. It's good to pop in on that. Put that link. Get instant. All right. I'm gonna put you on mute. We finna go now. We can move on.
Lord Christ.
Young man, y'all can see him. I know y'all can see him. He said the Negro. You know he's absolutely right. The Negro. Absolutely right. Judah is the so-called Negro. That's the interesting thing. If you look up slave bill, you will never find a slave bill. At least I haven't found one. Somebody tell me if they do. I searched the archive best I can. I've never found a slave bill that said Africans for sale. Never said Africans for sale. What it did say was Negroes for sale. All right. We come to the end of it. Let's deal with what we got on the board here. Who are these people? Who are these people? Who are these people? Same question. The Hebrew pronunciation, the English pronunciation, and who they are today. Now, that's what we've been asking a few times. So, let me go back and get it. Let me go back and get it. Good job, young man Wood. That's all right. Here we go. The first one, that little short one up there, on the right, I saw the brother had that one already. Here we go. Absolutely correct, did I? Ashar, that's the tribe of Asher. And make sure the more correct answer is they are from Asher, spread from Colombia to Uruguay. From Colombia down to Uruguay, and Asher means happy. Means happy. All right? Absolutely. Now, do we have any, the next one? Now, the only thing I only check is the spelling on this, but he's in the right ballpark because I thought he pronounced Naphthalia. Naphthalia. That's what I'm looking at. Naphthalia. Is that what this brother wrote? Naphthalia. La. Remember, we said it was going to happen. That's why we go over it at the beginning of the class. This is a tie. This is a thigh. Got that? So the correct English spelling and pronunciation, you should say thou, yeah. You got that? Because this doesn't have a circle around it. It doesn't have a circle around it. Not thou. Right here. Okay? Everybody got that? When you said Naphtali is correct. And the sister helped you out is Asher. Then you can find him from Colombia to your Salakia. That's Asher. That's not my bad. I thought she had the other one. Argentina to Chile. Absolutely. Argentina to Chile. Okay? That's absolutely correct. And who was the last one? Correct. That's absolutely correct. That's still not correct. That's not what's up there. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Naphthalia. That's correct. That's correct. Let's turn around and see what I wrote down. Absolutely correct. And Naphtali, they are from Argentina down to Chile. And what's that last one up there? Look at here. That's my favorite food right there. I know people like what they call it soul food. You want to spoil me. Cook like these folk here. Oh my God. That last one to the top left. I think somebody had it. Yeah, we went there. I don't know what's going on here. If you want to get in faster, again, click the link. I'm going to put it there one more time. Click this link. I'll put it in the comment section in the chat room. Click that link. You can actually chime in on screen. And you'll get through faster. It'll be like instant when you talk. I'm going back through the chat room. I know somebody put this up already. I know somebody put this. There it is. There. Yashakar. That's Issachar. That's our Mexican brothers right there. I'm telling y'all the truth. I was in that damn army for a minute and got stationed in a little place called Fort Huachuca, Arizona. I think we was about 50 miles north of Nogales, and every chance I got to hit Nogales, Mexico, I was over there at a little bitty, I don't know if it was I don't know what to call it. Because it looked like something, you went into back down south years ago where you could buy food, all unlawful food, out from under a railroad trestle or something. I mean, it was dark and tight, and you had a dirt Look, only place I ever ate Frito-Lays by themselves. The beans were so good. I love Mexican food. I love it. We gotta get a good comment in. Everybody needs to see. It's not letting my chat on. Okay, that just came through. There's something going on that's making it slow, but like I said, we down to the end. There you go. Max up can. Okay, I ain't gonna mess with y'all. Yeah, for misspelling the English words. You know, so I ain't gonna mess with you all on that. That's funny though. If Issachar was misspelled, I would say that. But this Yashikar, for sure, Issachar, those are Mexican brothers. And with that, we're gonna pull this class to a close. I appreciate the participation. I thank you for letting me work with you guys today. Remember, Shema Yahshua, Yahweh, Allah, Yahweh, Yahweh, Akkad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one. With one faith, one spirit, one baptism, and we are one what? Shalom, Israel.